Hey everybody, happy Friday, and we're leading up to Christmas. We got a couple more work days before everything kind of comes to a standstill for a few days while we head into 2020, and we're going to talk a little bit about 2020 right now. And what we're going to talk about is the first couple pages of the business planning clinic that we're planning to put on in January. So today what I wanted to talk about was myth number one, because I think a lot of us have this, right? Myself included. And myth number one, as we see in the 7 myth understandings, is I can't do it, right? Now, you may not use that terminology. I know I don't. I end up thinking about what might go wrong, or what might people think, or is somebody doing it better than me? I don't really know what it is, but it's called imposter syndrome. Right. And I was listening to a podcast the other day where there were a bunch of comedians talking about how they compare themselves to other people's accounts online, and they're out there trying to be funny. And they talked about, the one guy said, I only have like 2,500 followers or 1,000 followers. I think he said 1,000, right? I have 1,000 followers online, but then I look at someone like Taylor Swift and she's got 60 million. And I just kind of feel like, all right, well, I can never do that. And the person he was talking to said, yeah, but can you imagine if you put on a seminar or a one-man show or any kind of, thing that is in your realm, and 1,000 people showed up? You'd be blown away. You'd feel like a huge success. So remember that there's a sliding scale, right? And it's about getting there and getting closer to there and figuring it out along the way more than it is about just showing up and having it work. So when we talk about the first myth understanding of I can't do it, the real truth is, you have no idea what you're capable of until you've tried it. So whether that means going on video, which I know I drive you guys crazy asking you all the time to do video, or just having a robust social media experience, or really diving in your emails, or calling somebody that you don't think would answer the phone for you, the bottom line is, and the 4 bullet points that they put here are, don't limit the size of your dreams. Right? And it seems very, get out there and do your best. But what it's actually saying is a little bit of 2 things, right? One is, you don't know what you're capable of because you've never done it. And 2 is, why not aim small, miss small? Now, if you saw The Patriot with Mel Gibson, you know that what he talks about in that movie is aim small, miss small means if you aim for me and you miss by an inch, you miss me. But if you aim for the button in the center of my shirt and you miss the button, you may still hit a part of the target. So when we're setting our goals for 2020 and you're thinking, I don't want to set my goal for $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, they seem completely impossible. But somebody out there is doing it. And if somebody's doing it, doesn't that mean we can too? Right? The second one is, avoid the self-defeating inner dialogue. Now, this is something that's big for me because I listen to a lot of Gary Vee. I'm sure you guys know that. But what Gary Vee says is, somebody else put that voice in your head. That's not you. You didn't decide that you couldn't do it. Somewhere along the line, you got the idea from somebody else. And we need to remove that voice, remove that perspective from your thought process. And I'm here to help you do that. Always begin with the belief that you just might do it if you try, right? They always say the only failure is the failure to try, but it's 100% right? If you don't ask for the business, there's a far less chance that you're ever going to get that business. So let's ask for the business. Once you achieved one thing that seems impossible, it becomes easier and easier for you to see the impossible and achieve it. So I want you to imagine you set a goal of, you want to make $400,000 this year, and you're going to have to do between 10 and 15 deals a month. You're like, how am I going to do that? Well, what if we started right now and shot for, I want to have 10 closings in July? Well, we have 3 months to get contracts in. We could start nurturing people. We could have first-time seminars. We could come in here and do a video with our vendor partners, right? Whether that be mortgage or law or budgeting or whatever the case may be, right? So when we think about these things, and if you're thinking, I can't do that, take some time to put whatever that is into perspective, and then ignore that negative voice in your head that's telling you that you can't possibly do that. Somebody else could do it, but you couldn't possibly. Because it's wrong. If you're thinking that, you're wrong. So, as we go through the holidays, be very appreciative of the family you have, the friends you have, the experiences you get to have. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be in real estate. The market's fantastic, but let's get out there and make a commitment to ask for what we want and then put the behaviors in place to go get it. I look forward to talking to you guys Monday, or we'll have our next live stream and our next videos where we'll talk about myth number 2, which is that it can't be done in our market. Again, not correct. And we'll talk about it on Monday. Thanks, everybody.